help us remember the brave men and women who fought for their freedom in that era and beyond, we at Applewood have traditionally donned costumes depicting figures important in early American history. For example, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is a common personification of our federal government, or of the United States in general. The name came into use during the War of 1812, when, according to legend, a New York meat packer named Samuel Wilson worked as a supply contractor for the U.S. troops. Sorry, I lost that sentence. The name was widely used during the 19th century, but Sam did not get a standard appearance until World War I, when recruitment posters showed him as a stern-looking fellow in a top hat, tailcoat, and chin whiskers. He is portrayed by David O'Donoghue. George Washington, the commander of our troops during the Revolutionary War, and our first president, another sentence for that verb. Throughout the war, he deferred to the authority of the Congress of Confederation and state officials. After the war, he was instrumental in bringing about the Constitutional Convention, and his widely publicized participation gave the resulting document a credibility and legitimacy it would otherwise have lacked. He is widely regarded as the father of our country. He is portrayed by Bob Kuplas. John Paul Jones grew up in Scotland and around 1775 joined the newly formed Continental Navy, commanding American ships. Jones led a famous naval engagement with the British ship Serapis. Early in the gun battle, he answered an enemy challenge to surrender with the memorable words, "I have not yet begun to fight." He is sometimes referred to as the father of the American Navy. He is portrayed by Rami Vahaya, our new executive chef. Betsy Ross was a Philadelphia upholsterer and seamstress who has been credited with making the first American flag. In 1776, George Washington and two aides came to her shop. Washington showed her a sketch of a flag with 13 red and white stripes and 13 stars. It said she convinced Washington to change the shape of the stars from 6-pointed to 5-pointed. She is portrayed by Joan Rabin. Alexander Hamilton was an aide-de-camp to George Washington during the Revolutionary War, the author of 51 of the 85 essays of the Federalist Papers, a signer of the U.S. Constitution, and the first Secretary of the Treasury. He's credited with establishing the foundation of our banking system. Hamilton is one of two non-presidents featured on U.S. paper currency, the $10 bill. The other is Benjamin Franklin. He's portrayed by Bob Schlieb. Deborah Sampson was a Massachusetts woman who disguised herself as a man, and in 1782 joined the 4th Massachusetts Regiment. She served for 17 months, but upon being injured during battle, had her secret discovered by the doctor treating her. She was honorably discharged. After the war, with the help of Paul Revere and John Hancock, she received back pay and later a military pension for her wartime service. She carried a musket ball in her leg until the day she died in 1827. She's portrayed by Joni Ralston. Many historians regard Molly Pitcher as legend rather than history, and suggest that she's a composite image inspired by the actions of a number of brave and courageous women who carried pitchers of water to hot and thirsty soldiers on the battlefields of the Revolutionary War. According to one legend, at the Battle of Monmouth in 1778, Mary Hayes, wife of artilleryman William Hayes, carried water to cool both the cannon and the soldiers in her husband's battery, hence the name Molly Pitcher. Legend also asserts that when William Hayes collapsed or was wounded, she took her husband's place in the gun crew for the rest of the battle. She's portrayed by Allison Ash. The Statue of Liberty is a colossal copper statue in New York Harbor designed by F.A. Bartholdi and given to the people of America by the people of France in 1886. The integral metal framework was designed by the same man who built the Eiffel Tower, Gustave Eiffel. The tablet she holds in her left hand is inscribed with the date, July 4th, 1776, and the broken shackle and chain at her feet commemorate the dream of the abolition of slavery. She's the symbol of our liberty and unofficial greeter to all who come to our shores. She's portrayed by Jill Card. So we go on to readers. I'm looking for the boss. Yes, okay. I haven't seen him. Okay. I don't have a full script. Oh, on we go. Okay. Paul Revere. Trouble between the American colonies and Britain had been brewing since the French and Indian War, which began in 1754 and ended in 1763. The main conflict was over the imposition of taxes on American colonists without any representation in the Parliament. This conflict came into open warfare with the Battle of Lexington and Concord on April 19, 1775. William Dawes is the usually forgotten shoemaker who rode with Paul Revere on the night of April 18th to warn the colonists that the British were coming. Dawes took the longer route to Lexington, arriving at his destination half an hour later than Revere. So why was Revere immortalized as the hero? Among other things, his ride that night was portrayed in The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Helen F. Moore wrote a parody of Longfellow's poem, The Midnight Ride of William Dawes, published in the Century magazine of 1896. Here to read it is Raina Zeidenberg.
Yes. I am a wandering bitter shade, never of me was a hero made. Poets have never sung my praise, and if you ask me the fatal cause, I answer only, my name is Dawes. 'Tis all very well for the children to hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere, but why should my name be forgot, who rode as boldly and well as, and well, God wot. Why should I ask? The reason is clear. My name was Dawes, not Paul Revere. When the lights from the Old North Church flashed out, Paul Revere was waiting about, but I was already on my way. The shadows of night felt cold and gray. as I rode with never a break or a pause. But what was the use when my name was Dawes? History rings with his silvery name. Closed to me are the portals of fame. Had he been Dawes, and I revere, no one had ever heard of him, I fear. No one has heard of me because he was Revere and I was Dawes.